Hello there. Welcome to a tyke farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding-a-ling-ding dong the bell. It's Sunday tea time. We've had one man on site working, so we'll go and have a look to see what he's been doing. So I'll turn this camera around. We got a fair bit of work done on Saturday. It was Jean's birthday tea, so we had an early finish, but I was quite happy with the work on Saturday. And Wynn's been in today. I don't have to check on what he's been doing. It's no need to check at all, but you can see there that part was filled in, but this part was still hollow. And that dirt part, first pile of dirt, there's still a bit there. I think that's going to be used more or less to finish it. So we're going to have a big lump of dirt there left, which we'll just throw over the wall, they tell me. But you can see the floor level now, and this end. So we've definitely got a floor. So he's been digging away, but a bit of leisure time as well. See, we're quite level here, all along here. But a bit of leisure time for Wynn and Jean, brother and sister. They had lunch together down here. I popped down for 10 minutes, had a couple of spring rolls and left them to it. You know, but she's got a family here, and means I suppose I've got a family here, I don't know. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, if I can make any sense, which sometimes is difficult for me. I'll just turn this phone round, camera around again. Now at the end of this piggery, I was confused in measurements and whatever have you. But you know, it wasn't really this piggery, end of this piggery and this feed store what's going in, which is a confusing bit. Now I thought the shed was going to that that fence line, but it turns out it's going straight along here. And I was all askew with the measurements, as they were all askew with the measurements. They said to me 15 metres by 10 metres, I think. And that's what I repeated on the video. Of course, 30 metres is 100 foot. And 10 metres is 30 foot. So that's bigger than the shed we've already built, and it certainly wouldn't fit on this piece of ground. But thinking about that, the actual measurements is going to be 20 feet by 10 feet. But there was no metres in the UK when I was a kid at school. It was all imperial. Now I know what a metre is. It's 3 foot 3 inches. I know what centimetres are. Sorry, millimetres. I think it's 22 millimetres to an inch, so 20 millimetres is half inch to me. But I still think in feet and inches. And if somebody says it's 3 metres, I convert it to 10 feet. and I can't alter that. If you'd say to me something's 10, 15 centimetres, I've no idea what 10 centimetres is. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. Now here, when I'm talking to the fellas as best I can, because there's a language barrier obviously, they talk to me in metres, but they also talk to me in feet. But whereas I convert the metres to feet, I'm not sure they can, well, obviously they can convert to metres to feet if they think about it. But I think in conversation they'll say 10 metres and they really mean 10 feet. Or they'll say 3 feet and they really mean 3 metres. I don't know. I don't know how it works in their mind. I don't know what they're taught here. I would imagine they're taught metric. So it's all very confusing. I mean, when I first got here, I can't really remember now, but inch pipe, I think here was called 3/4. And 3/4 inch pipe was called 1/2 inch at the hardware store. It didn't add up anyway. So not only have you got the language barrier here, you've got a cultural barrier as well. Nobody will criticise you here. Nobody will suggest that you're wrong. So if I say 10 metres, they'll agree with me. And perhaps even though they know I mean 10 feet, they'll just agree with me. And then at the end of the day, it all sort of comes together in reality, and then everybody agrees it was 10 feet all along. But it's not a case of being right or wrong, I don't know. It's very confusing to me. But now I've got the information. We had a long talk today with Win, and he's telling me what they're going to do and how it's going to work from their point of view. Now, if I disagreed with anything, then I'd alter it a little bit. But all I need to know is how they're going to work and what they're going to do. And then I can adapt my thinking around them. So I'll turn this camera around again. So this shed is going to be 10 feet wide. That's from that post to that post. And it's going to go out that way 20 feet, so it's not going to reach the fence line. But they were talking about building onto the fence line, so maybe they're planning, which I'd be quite happy about, from the post at the end of that fence to extend the fence up here onto the boundary line, which will mean taking 5 trees down. Whether I do that with or without a permit from the barangay captain, I don't know. Because I don't own this land. Jean's responsible, but I don't want her to get in trouble with the barangay, and I certainly want to keep a low profile, so I think we'll maybe apply for a permit, but they might just hack them down before we get a chance. So that shed's going to... I'll come up here a bit. That shed's going to come off this post to about where I'm standing now. And it's going to be little more than a feed store, which is what's on the plans, which I haven't got yet, but Richie knows what the architect's going to require. So all the time the shed was going to come here, and I can work quite well with that, because this shed 20 foot long by 10 feet wide for a feed store, I'll have the roof just a single span roof like that, put on the top. And then when all the planning permits are done and the local authority is out of my hair, I can then build onto that feed shed back this way another 10 or 15 feet and put a roof on it to meet the first roof that way. And that will make a very nice poultry coop, because I want to go into chickens, so I'll have a really good shed for chickens going down there to the far fence with the run, screen it off as a run for the chickens, and they can ratch and root all the way down here. And this is wasted land really, it's not much you can do with it. So that'll work quite well when I get to thinking about it. So it's a case of adapting to what's put in front of you, and what initially is put in front of you, or you think it's being put in front of you, isn't what they're meant at all, because of the language barrier and because of the cultural barrier, and maybe, just possibly, because I'm a bit thick. Yeah, maybe. But it all works out in the end, and that's all that matters. So I'll leave it there, and we'll do another video tomorrow, and we're back to normal working tomorrow.